your mind, just as a Kenyan for once yesterday?
I think a proud moment.
Yes.
It was a reminiscence of what I felt some years back when Harambee Stars was Harambee Stars.
Yes.
Those were the days of the 1996, 97, when you had Reinhard Fabish. We had a very good team. We beat Nigeria. It reminded me of a game we played against
Super
Nigeria,
Eagles.
the Super Eagles.
Yes.
So that is the feeling I got.
But talk about the squad. I mean, that squad was well picked.
I think the squad was well picked, but beyond that, I think there's a lot of things that have gone into play. First is having a very good technical bench that has been able to prepare the young ones. But two is also the motivation aspect.
You can talk about that again and again.
That has to be there.
Yes.
And then, of course, as a country, when you have the 12th man, the crowd, when you're playing before such a mammoth crowd,
on a Sunday,
naturally as a player, you get energized, and every ounce of effort gets appreciated by the crowd.
But I think that Harambee Stars, for a very long time, we held that tag of Harambee Stars cannot beat any team. Harambee Stars cannot beat any team. But they're now trying to rewrite the history. Yeah?
I think Harambee Stars were a very good team for those who watched soccer in the 80s. But of course, consistently, whenever Harambee Stars has been good, our clubs have also generally performed very well.
Yes.
In the 80s, we had AFC and Gor Mahia giving us a lot of honors in the East Africa region, and that translated into a very good national team.
Yes.
I think a bit of that in the 90s with the Tusker, and you could see the same. Hopefully, this time again, we would probably see better management of football.
Yeah.
One of the things we've learned from this is that when you pay the players good wages or salaries,
they are deemed to perform.
They perform.
Okay. Do you know the meaning of Ogam? You'll tell us that.
I will.
On the front page of the Daily Nation, against all odds, talk about all odds, that is the Harambee Stars. Against all odds, yesterday they played a full team. We've been quite unfortunate that in the last two matches we played, up to 10 men because of, red cards. But yesterday they played to 10 men, and I think they also learned against all odds, as per actually the Daily Nation. Against all odds, that's where we have the gentlemen celebrating their win, and of course considered underdogs at the start of the African Nations Championship. Debutants Harambee Stars now stand Zambia in their final group match to advance to the quarterfinals, and also to get their final group match to advance the quarterfinals as group winners. With the victory, the hosts now retain home ground advantage in the knockout stage, while runners-up Morocco travel to Dar es Salaam to face Tanzania. Of course, 2.5 million shillings is in the bag for them. I want us to take a break, and we come back. Let's talk about this and much more when we come back. Stay with us. But then again, when you look at, we are just talking about football. You don't mind with football. You can talk about football the entire hour. All right? So, Thomas is here. Thomas Omao, he's a political analyst. Thomas, good morning.
Good morning, Victor.
Good to see you once again.
Thank you, my brother, for the opportunity.
Karibu.
Asante.
Talking football, I mean, Arsenal also won. Yes, I was forgetting about that. Regina Manyara is not around. She's not here because Man U lost. Literally. We started the Premier League officially over the weekend. So let's talk about what's on the front page of the Standard Insurance Ripoff. There is that case of, for thousands of county workers across Kenya, medical insurance cards are now nothing more than worthless plastic, despite billions paid in premiums. Hospitals are now rejecting patients, forcing families into debt or despair. Now, Standard is saying that it can reveal how rogue officials, brokers and insurers have turned health covers into a silent but deadly scam. We have got different faces here, faces and figures running into billions of shillings. 33 billion shillings, for example, is what government owes hospitals in unpaid claims. That's some of the key figures. In addition, there are 32 billion shillings arrears under Social Health Authority, SHA. 76 million shillings is the amount paid by Isiolo to Jubilee Insurance out of 120 million shillings contract. And 150 million shillings, according to the Standard, was paid by Bungoma to Karen Direct Insurance out of 299 million shillings contract, and 134 million shillings paid by Baringo to Alliance and First Assurance, 172 million shillings paid by Nyamira to Star Discovery Insurance out of 198 million shillings. Last but not least, Vihiga paid 7.6 million shillings to Trident Insurance out of 10.4 million shillings contract. And finally, 350 million shillings plus by Kilifi Medical Scheme, yet staff turned away. That is also on the front page of the Standard newspaper and some of the key figures. And still, Harambee Stars beat Zambia to top group. Gentlemen, let me just start by the front page. What do you have on the front page of the Star, Hezbon?
I think the issue is about rice farmers. Cry a mid-court fight and push to import more.
Yes.
I think we've had issues back and forth whether there's need to import more rice to bridge the deficit, or we first need to mop up what the farmers have harvested.
Yeah.
And I think the matter has ended up in court. So I think there's a temporary, there's an order stopping any further importation until the matter is heard and determined.
Okay.
So we are waiting to see how that will.
Let's wait at least about that. Thomas, the issue of insurance, and we've also heard the CES talk about it, planning actually to cancel some of the contracts and licenses for some of the hospitals. But SHA, getting these figures, is just eye-watering.
You see, Victor, initially, before we transited into the Social Health Authority, we had what was called the NHIF. And with respect to those who came up with the idea of the Social Health Authority, is that corruption was a major issue at the National Hospital Insurance Fund, a reason as to why they had to transit to SHA. But now the big elephant in the room, Victor, is it really working? How are they trying to turn around? How are they going to ensure that these bottlenecks are actually curbed? So from my opinion, I want to say that as a government, they have all the instruments of power to do their due diligence and also investigation to ensure that those hospitals that are supposed to be paid should be paid respectively. So I think in as much as those payments are made, then the right thing must be done. The right hospitals must be paid what legally belongs to them.
Okay. So thank you for that. Let's come back and talk about what really happened over the week. Last week we had the counties exhibiting the devolution conference at 12, now getting 13th year, and Homa Bay County hosted that event. And now let's take a look at what really happened. Starting with you, Hesbon, based on your assessment and general assessment, basically, what did you pick from the devolution conference in Homa Bay, in a nutshell?
I think devolution conference was a good thing. More, I would talk about Homa Bay County gave us an opportunity to appreciate what partnership between the national government and the county governments can do in terms of what we were able to see. But also, there were bad elements of that devolution conference. First is what was exhibited.
Yeah.
I do agree with most analysts and Kenyans that it doesn't quite depict what counties are supposed to do. Other than what Irungu Kangata shared in terms of what they've done as a county, most of the counties and their exhibits more or less focused around what the private sector should be doing in the area. So
as opposed to?
As opposed to what they as county are doing to drive devolution.
I get it,
Of course, it's okay when you showcase what is produced in your area. But if it is being done by the private sector, then you need to go a step further and give us a component. What kind of support are you giving to the private sector in that space to be able to thrive? Not unless it is something you are producing yourself, like Kitui County, that would say we are producing football, we are producing this garments or things like that. So I think a lot of that was lost in terms of what people exhibited. And in the end, we were not able to quite get the feel of how devolution has worked, because there are serious challenges with devolution. I would tell you, I would have expected to hear what is it that counties are doing to address, one, the bloated wage bill that is choking counties. Almost all of them have more than 40% of their revenues going towards settling salaries, way above the 35% threshold that is set in law.
Yes.
Issues of spending 30% of their revenues on development, that didn't come out. And I think those are critical things. And then when you look at the last audited report for all counties, counties are struggling to get clean audit reports. So those reports don't speak well of them in terms of accountability for public resources. So I think those are the bits I missed, but I think the other bits that were good is to see that there are certain good things happening in some of the counties, and I think we need to build up on those, share the experiences of some of the feedback we got from a county like Murang'a. How is it that Murang'a is able to leverage on ICT to be able to drive service delivery to Wananchi?
Which ought to have been done across all the counties long time ago.
They should have done that 13 years down the line. But one of the reasons why that is not happening is because ICT then is able to help you, if utilized appropriately, to weed out graft or misuse of public resources. A problem that some of the leaders at county level are not very keen on addressing. You talk about the challenges and the push and pull between the two levels of government. And every now and then, there is division of revenue pool. We want this more money. But statistics that are available tells us otherwise. That 260 billion is a potential for all the counties in the country to collect without adding any additional taxes, just efficiency, which you can leverage on ICT. What are they doing? They're doing 60 billion. So there's 200 billion that is disappearing somewhere along the way. Money which, if was brought on board, you will not be talking about failure to address the 35% revenue being spent on salaries. You would have rationalized that space, and counties would still have enough money to spend on development. So I think there was more to learn there. I liked what I listened to from Irungu Kangata, especially what they've done to support the key drivers of development in any county. That is the private sector. That the farmer that was getting 3 shillings for a kilo of mango is now getting 23 shillings per kilo, courtesy of what the governor has been able to do by reaching out to the players in the value chain. that we are going to buy mangoes from my farmers at this rate. We are going to give them the relevant input so that the quality is maintained. That is the kind of narratives I would want to hear across the country. That is what will drive devolution, so that the farmer is supported. I would also want to hear more about how are you able to pick the health data, health statistics, how are you addressing child mortality, things like that. Do you have the optics of what is happening within your county at a click of a button? And I think Irungu Kangata has shared that. So I think the shining star of that devolution conference, by all means, remains Murang'a County. And I think Homa Bay County led in one thing. I think the level of partnership that they've been able to share with the national government has also showcased that county in a very, very big light and in a very bright way.
With it, Omar, which brings this aspect of the collaboration between the two levels of leadership. When you talk of the national government and the county government, the president still holds a very crucial key. Whether devolution, well, governors are given that leverage and that platform to do their job independently. But the president as well has that special password to devolution, I mean, for development to happen in several of these counties. We can't not ignore the executive.
Victor, Article 175 of our current constitutional dispensation talks about the principles of devolution. So, as far as devolution came, we had to decentralize some of the services to a more local level. So, what I saw in Homa Bay County from my objective point of view was actually the grandiose display of opulence, especially by some governors. Why am I saying this, Victor? You see, as my brother here has mentioned, there are counties like Murang'a that have indeed exhibited what devolution means. You see, it's in Murang'a County that we have moving lorries that do what we call kidney dialysis. You see, that's a great effort and also achievement from the great governor of Murang'a County. But now, what I saw from my objective point of view is that the political class, especially the one led by the executive, and to be specific, the head of state, is trying to showcase that indeed the national government is closely working with the county government, and to be specific, the county government of Homa Bay. And now the fundamental question that we ask ourselves is, why is it that the president is so much concerned with Homa Bay and in particular Luo Nyanza counties compared to other counties? Victor, you can attest to me the fact that the president has been to Homa Bay and other Luo Nyanza counties for quite a good number of times. And now the question that we ask ourselves is whether he is seeking to have a collaboration with the ODM leader Raila Odinga in as far as the elections of 2022 is concerned. But what am I trying to say? At the end of the day, as the Constitution puts it clearly, and to be particular, Article 175, devolution came so as to devolve functions to a more local level, to bring about development at a more local level. But we have seen cases whereby various governors have been implicated in serious corruption scandals. Yeah, you know that one, Victor.
Yeah.
I cannot go without saying that. So what I want to say is that that conference, what we saw was just it was used as a campaign tool, especially by the president and also his colleague from the opposition side, who has now chided with the government, so that at least they convince the population, especially from the Luo Nyanza region, to support the government as we head to the next elections. Okay,
politically speaking, I see where you're headed. But then now, let's just come back. The accountability aspect of it. Many governors are actually also being asked for the aspect of accountability. You've talked about corruption. Sure. Some of the former governors cases are still active in court. Sure. And of course, questions are also being raised on how some of these counties are spending their resources effectively. How will we enhance accountability if some of these institutions that are meant to push for accountability purposes are also having a bit of some hard work to get this information? For example, EACC, they say that, you know, when they want some of the information from the county governments and some of these executive, it doesn't come through. So how will Wanjiku gain out of it then?
Now, this is why I'm saying that, you know, we have very good laws, Victor. In fact, when we have a look at Chapter 15 of the Constitution has created independent offices and also institutions. Part of those independent offices is the EAC, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. What is it really doing, Mike? Because from where I sit, I don't really think whether we have, it has done some serious work. Because I've not seen someone who has been charged and even convicted in a court of law. But what I'm seeing is the politicization of some of these institutions, whereby those individuals or those leaders who are opposed to the government are the ones that are most particularly targeted by some of these some of these institutions. Article 10 is clear on the principles of governance and also leadership. Chapter 6 talks clearly about leadership and integrity. So why is it that these independent offices and also institutions, why are they not independent? Why are they acting selectively in as much as they are implementing their constitutional mandate? So it's my clarion call, especially to these offices, to remain, to stand tall in discharging their duties. We need to see action. We need to see people charged. We need to see people convicted in a court of law.
Okay. Hesbon, here at last was a structured way, and actually it was institutionalized approach to help the common mwananchi get service closer to them, from the national government to the counties. But why is it that 13 years down the line, we are still not getting that grip firmly?
I think the number one barrier to devolution working is lack of accountability. Forget about anything else. And it's this simple. In 13 years, we have 1,128 audit reports that have been issued to both county executive and county assemblies.
1,000?
128.
Wow.
Which means 47 county governments have had 47 audit reports every year for 12 years. This is the 13th year. The same to the assemblies. If you add all that, is 1,128. Of all those, there are less than 20 that are clean. I'm an auditor. If you were to get that kind of a report in the private sector, as a CEO, you'll be fired. That is how remarkably different the spaces are. So we have a public sector, especially our devolved county governments, that are doing significantly poor in terms of accountability and reporting outcomes. And the Auditor General's report speaks to that. Read the Auditor General's report across the entire 47 counties. The latest of 2024, you'll realize that almost all the 47 counties got what we call qualified audit opinion. It's not so bad, but it's not the best, which means there's still more they need to do to get to where they should be.
Yeah.
When you go to the county assemblies, for the first time, 8 of them had clean reports. But still, 2 had adverse reports, namely Migori and Homa Bay County. The only 2 in the entire 47 county assemblies. So there's still a problem in accounting for the little money they're receiving. Now, having said that, then the other issue is, if you cannot account for that money, it means there are certain things you're not doing right.
Yeah.
And the devil is in the details. When you now go to those reports, 35% of what you receive should go towards emoluments on the maximum side. They're doing 50, 60%. It means that county cannot sustain unless they get more resources. Now, on-source revenue, I've just shared a background. Research by Commission for Revenue Allocation has spoken about the potential of 260 billion.
Yeah.
They're doing 60 as of today. All 47 counties put together cannot even marshal 100 billion. Yet, wage bill alone is over 100 billion in all the counties.
Yeah.
Which means they are employment bureaus, so to speak. So there has to be a deliberate effort by counties to ensure that they rationalize their expenditures, The transition should not be avenues for ghost workers and incoming governors to continue bloating their wage space. But also, there could be other functions that need to be devolved to the counties that are still held by national government. And I'm glad the president has signed off some of those sticking
But will that be a full
responsibilities.
basket? Because somebody would ask a question why, even with all those functions not fully devolved, counties are still grappling, to sustain themselves and even now to run the counties with their available resources. But then now, once they're fully devolved, do you think that will be a very full basket for the counties to handle?
I think for now, I would rather we go step by step.
Yeah.
Let them get the act together. The Bible says, take care of the good, the little you have, then I will add you more. Let's have discipline around the little we have. Once we get to that space, then it will be very easy now to then say, okay, let's go to the next step. But having said that, there are constitutional provisions then that also have to be respected. So I think it's a matter of then, can we have every aspect of accountability clicking in? For example, if my responsibility as a controller of budget is to ensure that your budget meets the threshold that is required, why is it that all counties are accumulating 200 billion in pending bills? Because that is money owed to the third party. Yet all the funds that were supposed to be devolved have been that have been allocated by the Division of Revenue have been disbursed.
Yes.
So why are you still having this? You realize there's indiscipline when they are budgeting. When you budget, you overestimate your revenue, and then you don't get the revenue target, then you end up with pending bills. The entire 200 billion of pending bills is 100% bad budgeting. So whenever you see any pending bill in any county, it's a budgeting mess.
I mean, when you look at it, Omar, again, talk of the human resource that we have in the counties. Many counties are still going several months without paying the workers, the salaries, the pending bills, the suppliers and all that. And yet we have got that allocation from the national government, and we also have on-source revenue. Could it be a case of priority or what's happening for the counties?
What I think is the issue of bad manners, as I can call it, or bad leadership. We have what we call the Public Finance Management Act, specifically the one for 2012. It has highlighted on what we call the prudence use of public resources. But now here comes, for example, a county where I come from, we have a governor who has a single contractor in the whole county. So it's only this contractor that is doing all the contracts. Talk about building ECD classrooms, talk about roads, talk about everything. So that, what does that imply, Victor? It implies that there is some underhand.
Is that a verified allegation?
Yeah, it's a verified allegation. It's there, it has been in the public domain. Only that I can't mention that county for purposes of privacy. So what I can say is that the greatest challenge of our time and history is the question of poor leadership and also mismanagement of our resources. You know, when devolution came, we thought that it was a good thing. But now, others now saw it as a golden opportunity to loot public coffers. The challenge that we have in this country is the question of circulation of money in the country. Why is it that bending pills are not paid? You know, if bending pills are paid, then it implies that there will be circulation of money within the economy. But now, here is a case whereby you have to bribe this one so that you are paid. That's what's happening. It's in the public domain, Victor. So we need the prudent use of our public resources and also our public covers.
Maybe just to explain it a little bit, Victor. I think it's a very basic thing. When you budget both expecting money from the share of revenue and also your own source, which is your taxes locally.
What you'll get in between.
So an example is, you expect 8 billion to be disbursed by the Treasury and another 2 billion as own source revenue. Now
that
when
you
you're
10.
So you are expecting 10 billion. Now when you're preparing your budget, you realize that salaries alone have taken 70% of your money. That is 7 billion.
7 billion.
Then you need other operational expenditures, another 2 billion. You are in 9 billion. I'm giving you a practical example. Now, you have not accounted for development. The law says 30% of your resources should go towards development.
Yeah.
Without that being factored, the control of budget is not going to approve your budget. Yet the ceiling is already 10B. You're already at 9. For you to get the development component in this matrix, you have to raise your own source revenue to 12. I want you to get the point.
Yeah.
So own source revenue is being raised to balance the constitutional expectations of 30% on development.
What are the counties who are not able to raise their own source revenue to the expected standard?
I'm just getting there. Now, once you get to the point where you are now, you know you're only going to get 2 billion.
Yeah.
But you've approximated 4 billion. When this budget is passed and is approved by the control of budget, it means you are going to commit projects on the expectation that the county is going to receive 12 billion. When in actual sense, the only amount you will receive at the end of the year is 10B. Because that's the actual. 8B from the share of revenue and another 2B from your taxes, based on your past record of revenues. That is where you end up overestimating on source revenue, creating pending bills, because you are committing projects based on unrealistic revenue expectations. So you don't have the money. So you cannot pay what you don't have.
Okay.
So for other counties that have the challenge of raising the right amount of money, the reality is you need to cut your cloth according to size.
So let's let's do this. So let's also cut our cloth according to our size and take a break. And then I want to serve the tea.
Thank you.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Let's take a look at what really happened in the counties. The discussion has just begun. Okay? And for the governors and the county executives, this time for us to take that post-mortem. We'll be right back with more. Stay with us. And welcome back. All of us have our cups of coffee, so good to go. Omao, you are sorted?
I'm sorted.
Thank you.
Thank
Karibu sana as well,
Asante.
Esbon.
Asante.
So let's come back. Well, you talked about that aspect of accountability, but then now many people are talking about the aspect of leadership, but the institutions in between to help running the counties is where the missing link is. Omao.
As I said, Victor, Article 10 is very clear on the principles of leadership and governance. We have very good laws, only that our leaders have failed to follow these laws to the latter. So we find that the main issue and the question of contention is corruption, such that the moment we put in place leaders, their main agenda item is to loot the public coffers. So that's the greatest challenge that we are having. Another challenge that we are having is the politicization of independent constitutional institutions that are supposed to deal with the issues of mismanagement of our resources. So it's my prayer and also it's my clarion call, especially these institutions, to just work. Is the judiciary independent? How independent is the judiciary? That's another question that we need to ask ourselves. Because so far, I have not seen anyone that has been convicted and jailed in a court of law, so that he or she can serve as an example. See, that's another issue. So we have good laws, we have good institutions, only that they have failed to work.
As expected of them.
As expected.
You know, another issue, perhaps you want to chime on that as well?
Yeah, I wanted to mention that part of the challenges we've had with our county governments, beyond what I've shared in terms of the way they budget, in which I expect the control of budget to do a little more and just put some breaks. But I also understand the challenge the control of budget has when salaries are already consuming a big chunk of what you have, and it becomes very difficult to balance the numbers. But constitutional imperatives are there. Beyond that, the county assembly is supposed to be the check that ensures the governor does the right thing. They are the ones who approve even the budget at county level. So if you see any budget that is bloated in any county, you start by asking the county assembly, are you doing your oversight role?
Yeah.
But part of the problem has been that the county assembly has not had the financial autonomy to be able to carry out its work appropriately. And I'm glad while the president was in Homa Bay during the devolution conference, while at Homa Bay State Lodge, he signed into law the amendment to the act that deals with how county assemblies are. There's a bill that was put in place by Senate to give the counties autonomy, and that meant certain clauses in the PFM Act had to be changed.
Yeah.
So going forward, counties now get their money more or less directly. They draw their money without necessarily looking at the executive. What has been the practice is that when money is disbursed to the county executive, the county executive then determines what level they give the county assembly, despite what they may have requested and they may have actually had approved. That then messes the plans of the assembly in terms of how it can run its activities. And that has been part of the challenge that then muzzles the voice of the assembly. Now that they have financial autonomy to run their programs, they don't have to beg the executive, give us our share so that we run our activities. Now they can run that without looking over their shoulders. That gives them some comfort that you are not going to be incapacitated because you have issues of beef with the executive. And I think that's a very good way to progress our accountability journey. The other issue, of course, is that there's a very thin line between the county assembly members and the executive. More or less, they are in bed together. So it becomes very difficult for each to carry out its mandate. But I would want to call upon our various players, be they the civil society, let's capacity build our county assemblies to carry out the oversight role. Also work with them, either through the Senate as well, to ensure that they do what is right, because they are the first vanguards of ensuring that the resources are applied appropriately at the county level.
Let's talk about the politics. I mean, the political aspect, because most of the county governors are, a classic example is Kericho. Eric Mutai, the governor, is facing another second and another hard point. He was impeached last week. And the politics that is playing in the several counties, somebody would say again, Omao, is that some of these governors are held hostage, that if you are not singing according to the county assemblies, then first of all, approving of a budget, a county budget, is a problem.
Victor, you can remember during the regime of the former Makueni governor, Professor Kivuta Kibwana, the members of county assembly were threatening to impeach him. He went ahead and wrote to the president actually and told him that you can dissolve this county so that people can come back and seek the mandate of the people. After that, those MCAs coiled. They went into hibernation. So you realize that most of these members of county assembly are trying to extort money from these governors. But now the big elephant in the room is, are these governors really working? Under the social contract theory, we are told that we put in place people, we elect leaders so that they can work to us. And if they are not working, then most probably they have to be voted out. So a case in example of Eric Mtai, who has been impeached for the second time. Now, it basically implies that there are serious loopholes, especially in that county. Because the last time that he was impeached, the Senate did its investigations and they found that he had no issues. So he had to be let off the hook. But what I want to tell you, Victor, is that a lot of issues are happening in our counties. We are seeing zero development in other counties. Like for example, as I told you where I come from, the previous financial year, there was zero development. And now, our governor was saying that he has had a lot of hectic time working with members of county assembly, that they delay coming up with the budget and giving all sorts of excuses. But in the real sense, we are seeing other counties that are working, like a case of example in Muranga, a case in example of Makueni, Homa Bay. So basically, what's happening in our counties is a lot of politics and no development at all. And another thing that another challenge that we're having is that our people have totally refused to participate in the political affairs of these counties. We have the most important component of the constitution is the issue of public participation. In fact, most people are not taking part in some of these conversations around development in various counties. We have a certain gentleman by the name Budget Pritchett. He once said that the most illiterate person in a society is the political illiterate, because he or she doesn't want to take part in the political affairs of a country or a place. And out of this ignorance, bad leaders are put in place. So it's really my clarion call to our people to take part in the issues of public participation, so that they are part and parcel of the development agenda in our counties. Because if we fail to do that, then most probably some of our leaders will take advantage of that, ignorance to do what suits them and not what they're supposed to do.
Okay. So again, Hesbon, most of the governors walk on an eggshell when it comes to running of the county affairs, because you have to sing some tune according to the county assemblies. Well, not so many of them. We've seen so many counties going through some of this smooth transition from one regime to the next.
I think yes and no. We have had the case of Makueni, and my colleague has alluded to it. The Makueni governor at some point was pushed to the wall by members of the county assembly. And of course they were incited politically. But the saving grace for the governor was that he was very diligent in his duties and what he was doing, that he had the public support behind him. Once you're able to do that, then the work becomes easier. Now, for Kericho, I think there's an element of politics. The governors who are held ransom. There is also the opposite, governors who control the assembly. If you fear that the assembly would want to impeach you from time to time, strategy would be to try and muzzle that assembly. And the vice versa could also happen. So I think it could also be a habit. You know, when you're used to giving me certain incentives to do for you certain things, that some of them may not be proper, it may be an avenue for me to ensure that whenever I want certain favors, I use that leverage to extract from you. But I think the overall thing this speaks to is leadership. Leadership is a panacea for all these things. Sure. Are you as a leader capable of leading a county? Do you have the requisite qualifications? Do you have leadership qualities? Have you been in a leadership space? Do you understand how you need to handle human resource issues? Do you understand how you need to look at the overall governance space? Some of the issues coming up, they are pending bills of 1 billion. I still go back to, it's a leadership thing. It's just like in your house. You can't budget to spend 40,000 when your salary is 20,000 or 25,000. And you don't have the leverage to borrow, or you don't have any maize in the farm that you expect to harvest and sell. Definitely you're going to have problems. And I think that is why we're having a lot of problems in our counties. Like I said earlier, any county where you see there is pending bills, the first person I would point very strong fingers at is the assembly. Why did you pass a budget that is not achievable within the county? It's as simple as that. Because you passed a budget that necessitated that pending bill. Because you can't spend what you've not budgeted for.
That goes back to what you said, cut your coat according to your size.
According to your size. This, and for you to cut your clothes according to your size, you must have the leadership capability to be able to appreciate that this thing I'm doing is going to put me in problems. Once you have that in mind, then as a leader you should be able to do the right thing. But it's true, this governor sometimes get...
I believe that County X, for example, the county of Turkana, there is a collaboration between county of Turkana and county of Kericho. It's like a conveyor belt. There is a way they link and they mix. What do you think, for example, the county of Mombasa, county of Kajiado, county of Turkana, whichever county can learn from each county and copy-paste for the betterment of general growth of the country? I'll also ask this.
I think there's so much collaboration you can gain by just asking, what are you doing differently that we can borrow? You can borrow best practice. For example, if ICT reforms has worked very well in Muranga, you benchmark with them and tell them, please let us know how you are able to do this. Can we borrow that model?
Because there's no lack of human resource.
Yes. So can we borrow that model? But you see, the leadership, it still falls back to leadership. Same thing, you go to another county, you find they're doing this better. Borrow that best practice and apply it. Beyond that, talk to these constitutional bodies, talk to the Auditor General. There's this challenge we're having. Help us. They're very welcoming in terms of advising, because they're not just there to penalize. Talk to control of budget. We are having this problem. What would be your advice around how we should go about this? You'll find that a county like Kericho, I think, has even had leadership wrangles on who leads even the assembly. There's been this. There have been so many untidy things around that space that speaks to lack of proper leadership. But then also there's also the aspect of politics, current and 2027 elections. There are people who may have interest in 2027 elections, and they would be happy that my chances are only good if the county is not working. So if my mandate is to stir the hornet's nest until by the time you get to 2027, the regime is so unpopular that I have to be elected. You know, there are leaders like that. So that could also be there.
That politics for 5 good years.
Which is a very bad kind of politics. But ultimately, when the county succeeds, whether you want to inherit that leadership, people succeed. So you must, as a patriot, support where necessary our leaders to succeed and point out where they are going astray so that they make the necessary changes for the good of the people. I think that is what is also lacking within our space, so that you can't then now pick out what is the genesis of this.
Okay, Omar.
Victor, what I can say with respect to that, I'd like to make a reference to my teacher of political science and political economy in particular, who is also the governor for Kisumu County, Professor Peter Nyong'o. Professor Nyong'o has illustrated a good leadership and what planning can do. You can attest to me the fact that the good professor from the Lakeside County has never been implicated in a corruption scandal. You can also remember that during the regime of Mwai Kibaki, Professor Nyong'o was the Minister for Economic Planning, and you saw what they did. they are the people who turned around the economy of this country, which we are all proud of. So what I can say is that what we lack is a leadership ethic, whereby those who occupy these positions just see loopholes to loot and enrich themselves in what someone by the name Karl Marx and also Friedrich Engels calls what they call primitive accumulation of wealth. So we really need to put in place leaders that are accountable as put by Article 10 of our Constitution on the national values and on the national values of leadership and governance. So that is what we lack in most of our leaders, most of these governors, and that's why we are seeing the constant push and push and pull between the governors, between the senators, and also between the members of county assembly. You see, when we have those leadership crises and also wrangles in counties, it becomes very, very much difficult. Like, for example, we have a county assembly of Nyamira. We have, it's just one county, but has two assemblies. You find that members of county assembly are so divided that they divide themselves. Now, you realize, and you realize that at the end of the day, it's the people who suffer. There's no development, there's no service delivery to the people. So, the big issue and the big question is just leadership.
Okay. I want us to come to that question. The president raised a very serious point where he accused members of parliament in different committees of parliament. Well, this might not be related to the counties, but still, when it comes to report and committees of parliament, he said something that perhaps will not go well with members of parliament and will have to do some soul searching, that it's a den of bribes, committees of parliament. When members of all governors appear, I think that's where the president was trying to make it in a veiled kind of approach, that some of these governors would appear before county assemblies, before the parliamentary committees, but the reports that come from these committees are doctored because of a bribe or so. As an auditor, how do you say that? What?
I think the president was right in calling out Parliament, and it's no open. It's known. There are things. Money changes hands, and some of the same MPs have said, so and so was paid. Money was paid in the toilet. You've had the cases of that.
Exactly.
Some as low as paltry sums of 10,000. But I think the concern for me and the context in which the president was speaking is where a county has been given an audit report. That is not nice. And the parliamentary committee summons the governor to come and defend the report. And when they come with briefcases. When they come with files that they were not able to provide to the auditor when they were auditing. Because the Public Audit Act defines the audit cycle. It begins at this point. You have an entry meeting with the auditee. You are able to tell them your expectations. You tell them how long you'll be doing the field work. When you're done, you do what you call an exit meeting. At that exit meeting, you tell them what your findings are, anything pending. You give them time to provide it. After that period, you give them the report. How comes once the report is out, that's when now you have evidence that you now want to present to parliamentary committee to examine. People who are not trained even in auditing.
But this one basically stifles devolution in a big way.
Yes, it does. And that is where I think certain things need to be dealt with differently. For me, if you brought for me a report or issues from county emanating from an auditor's report, I'll only ask two things. Did you follow the process as it was required? It's a yes or no. If you are required to provide these documents, were you able to provide them within the time frame? If you didn't, case closed. But if you now want to provide things that were not available then, where were they? Were you manufacturing them? I think that is the context where you start asking yourself. Then eventually, the report is now altered. The governor is let scot-free. And it's like now the auditor has not done his job. And the auditor signed the report. He will never change that report. So what happens is where we are 13 years down the line. I have talked about 1,128 audit reports. Very few are clean. And what then follows is that the counties are not able to grow out of poor financial practices.
Yeah.
And the overall context of it is this, because somebody can say, why are you talking about audit reports of counties? What about the executive? What about the office of the president? What about parastatals? Now, this is the reality. Less than 2% of audit reports in counties are clean. 55% of audit reports in state departments are clean. And 69% of audit reports in parastatals and state-owned entities are clean. So if you're talking about the bad in the counties is 98%, the bad in state departments is 45%, and the bad in parastatals or state-owned entities is at 31%.
What about ours?
So
what about
here? So that is where we need to change.
On a lighter note, no. Gentlemen, I want us to almost finishing, but then, Omar, moving forward, 13th year now into the devolution, what should you expect? Because God willing, we are going to have another devolution conference come next year, different venue. What should you expect?
What I expect is that, as we've been discussing, Victor, the big challenge that counties are faced is corruption, and that is budgeted corruption. And as we said, with respect to Article 175 of the Constitution, these counties were put in place so that people will see development. But counties like Makueni, Muranga have just shown that honestly, devolution can work. So what we expect in the next devolution conference is that some of these governors, some of our leaders must really work for the people, because that is why they were chosen. That is why they were elected to serve the common man. As Thomas Hobbes and John Locke tells us in the social contract theory, these leaders must work, failure to which they'll be voted out in the next elections. So let them stop these sideshows, let them stop the grandiose display of opulence in as far as they are making delivery to the people. Let them work for us. Chapter 6 of the Constitution is very clear on leadership and integrity. How do we trust our leaders if they cannot perform, if they can work for us, if they cannot work for the common man? And if they go there and what they're thinking about is looting our public covers, it doesn't add a victor. It just paints a very, very negative image of these leaders. And as a people, they have the obligation of voting them out. So we expect transparent and accountable leaders that can be trusted by the common man, that can be trusted by the electorate, so that they can work for the people.
Okay. Gentlemen, before we take a break, so today is a very important day. There is a meeting between UDA and ODM, parliamentary group meeting today, chaired by President William Ruto and Honorable Raila Odinga himself. Let's take a look at that briefly before we close this. Tuongee siasa kidogo. So, I mean, this was this unprecedented. Hesbon, this is unprecedented. Of course, it's part of the agreement and cooperation between the two parties. What do you think is going to happen today? I know there's so much that is going to be discussed in that parliamentary group meeting.
I think what is likely to come out from the optics and the body language of both the president and the former prime minister is that they are likely to work around some cooperation, especially in the upcoming by-elections.
Yeah.
So I would expect some conversation around that. Already the Prime Cabinet Secretary was already talking around zoning, leaving certain areas for UDA, other areas for ODM. I expect conversations around that, but I also expect conversations around how do we deepen the 10-point agenda.
Yeah, the memorandum.
The memorandum, what are the issues that we need to scale up. I know there's an aspect of compensation. There has to be some parliamentary angle that will still have to go to parliament. I'm sure that will be part of the conversation. How do we ensure that these human rights violations and the compensations are addressed through the right legal framework? So what needs to be done beyond the pronouncement by the president? How do we address that? And then, of course, the politics of the day. How do we prepare towards 2027? Because I think we like it or not, the politics of the country is also shaping towards what is it that you'd want to have in 2027. There are those who say two-term. There are those who say we are only supporting until the end of this term. So how do we have those divergent views consolidated? And more importantly, the SG of ODM has been very vocal. I'm wondering whether he's going to attend this meeting and how
his body language.
His body language is going to be, because he's been very clear. He's been crafting other formations. So I think it's an interesting space.
It's going to be happening at the KCB Leadership Center in Karen, of course. So we want to wait and see what's going to happen. Let's take a break. When we come back, I still want to talk about that and the politics around that. I mean, you'd imagine UDA. Of course, there is that memorandum of understanding, but what can we read about it, politically speaking? Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I need to refill our cups. welcome back. So on the final end of this discussion, let's take a look at the politics, of course. And just, Thomas, the meeting is between two political parties. And of course, it's ODM, not Azimio. It's ODM and UDA, the parliamentary group meeting. How important is this, politically speaking? Leave alone all, the agenda of the day.
Okay, what I can say is that as you are aware, we have by-elections that are coming in a few months to come. And a part of these by-elections will serve as a yardstick, and the government will use them to see whether it still has that particular support of the people. So this meeting comes at a time when these two political formations want to forge a way on how they can work around these by-elections. For example, as I said last time, I think we were with Mike, I said that the opposition can only defeat William Ruto if they are united past 2027. But they have illustrated that they cannot unite. For example,
past 2027?
Yeah. They have to be united. The opposition needs to be united. If at all they are serious
before
about... Before 2027,
okay.
That is.
Okay.
For example, in the Malava by-election, we have DCP that is filling a candidate. At the same time, we have DAP Kenya filling a candidate. So what does it imply? The united opposition still can't have some dialogue or to support one candidate. So the current political conversations in the country will be basically about the elections of 2027. And part of this is that the ODM political formation and also the UDA political outfit needs to work around this agenda. Will they work beyond? Will they work? Will they be in the same coalition as we approach to 2027? That is one of the political agendas that they'll be discussing. But Victor, kindly allow me to say this. And I don't know whether I'll mince my words, but I've always never minced my words. Whatever that I've said has always come to pass. Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, as they normally call him, has actually lost his influence. And going to the elections of 2027, his influence will basically be reduced to Luo Nyanza counties. Why am I saying this? Baba Raila Amolo Odinga is in government, though unconstitutional, because Article 3(2) of the Constitution says how a government should be formed. But now, this is an opposition figurehead who has joined hands with the government to form an unconstitutional government. Article 3(2) of the Constitution says that. And what is the general perception of President William Ruto? 3 years down the line, President William Ruto has suffered from what I call the lame duck effect. His influence has reduced completely because of the obvious reasons. Number one, talk about extrajudicial killings. Number two, talk about the question of corruption. Number three, talk about opulence and mismanagement of public covers. So, Baba Raila Amolo Odinga has been seen to dine with the oppressor. What will that imply? It will basically imply that these people will be seen to be against the people. To make a final comment on that, if the opposition unites, to the core as we approach the elections of 2027, then most probably William Ruto will meet his Waterloo coming these elections. History has indicated that those presidents that have not worked for the people have actually served one term. I can give you an example of President Joyce Banda in Zambia, President Edgar Lungu also in Zambia, who went for one term. Goodluck Jonathan in Nigeria served for one term. So if a president is seen to oppress the people due to one or two reasons, then most probably he's going to be voted out by the people, according to the social contract theory as put forth by philosophers like Thomas Hobbes and John Locke. So the conversation around these meetings is about these by-elections and also 2027.
Okay.
Another thing, President William Ruto is also not a walkover. He's also crafting his strategies on how to make sure that he wins the elections of 2027.
Okay.
part of this strategy is to ensure that the opposition is not united. Like, for example, why can the united opposition field two parliamentary aspirants in a by-election? It implies that they are not united to the core.
Perhaps that is going to be part of the discussion.
Exactly.
On how, you talked about zoning, on which areas to field a candidate and which areas not to field a candidate. Gentlemen, I want us to wrap it up there. Of course, we'll take a look at what is happening across. After that parliamentary group meeting, it's about ODM and UDA, the Kenya Kwanza. The president said it's meant to cement and forge way forward on how to unite the country, which is quite important on how to unite the country.
Maybe.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just one final comment. I think my friend has talked about the president not working and his re-election being difficult. I think the reality is different. You see, sometimes you can do so much and it's not communicated. When the rubber meets the road. Today we are talking about Chan. We are talking about Chan because somebody has fixed the stadium that has failed over the many years.
Yes.
We are talking about agricultural transformation. The prices of all crop commodities has gone up. All. Maize, sugarcane, tea, all the prices are up under this government. The production numbers are massive across all sectors. The healthcare reform. SHA may have a few challenges, but it has registered over 25 million people today. It has taken care of chronic diseases. Him and I today, if you have any harambes for any sick person, is about death, not about hospitalization. We've had that now covered under SHA. So there are so many things. Galana Kulalu that was dead is working. So there are a lot of things. Housing. Look at the kind of houses across the country. It may look unrealistic to people who are pinned in the pay slip. NSSF, I gave an example. It's doubled its value from 1963 to 2022, 280 billion. In 2 years, we are 560B. When these things are put to members, President has no opponent. These people have a lot of work to do. They have a lot of work to do.
And now you have a lot of work to do.
They have a lot of work to do.
Thomas, you better get ready. Gentlemen, thank you so much. The political analyst, Thomas Tumao, he's not stranger to Jerusalem, as well as FCPA Hezbollah Molo, who is a council member of ISPAC. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to the show. All right, that's where we wrap it up. But a quick wrap on, remember Chaniko KBC, that's where it all happened. Today's fixtures will be Algeria and Niger. And again, South Africa versus Uganda. Uganda Cranes have been performing quite well of late. They've been scoring 3 goals, 2 goals, and I hope Algeria and Niger. What's your prediction? Algeria, Niger?
I think Algeria will win. They're a stronger team. But for Uganda, I think they copied our script. Museveni came, met our president, and now he's also giving incentive. They are now also doing very well.
We are brothers. We are brothers. South Africa, Uganda?
I will go with Uganda.
Okay.
And also with Uganda, because Uganda, because of the motivation that they received from their president, they're also playing well.
Okay.
So I'll also go with the Uganda.
Algeria and Niger?
Algeria. Algeria is a strong team.
Okay. Yeah. That is according to today's fixture. So let me give you a quick wrap on what we have on the group stages. Top of Group A is Kenya with 10 points, of course. Group B is Tanzania with 10 points as well. Group C is Uganda with 6 points. We are doing well. Well, the COVID something, as you've said, but we're still doing well. All right. And Group D is Sudan. They have 4 points. That is in Group D. So let's wait and see how it will turn out. And then now we head to the next stages. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the show. But the most important person is you, the viewer, who stayed with us until the end. Asante sana for watching. I'm Victor Lo. Good morning.
Kenya, for the very first time, hosting the Africa Nation Championships, CHAN 2025, alongside Tanzania and Uganda. These matches are already running, so it marks a major sporting milestone, a compelling intersection between sports tourism, tourism, and ecotourism. What does this mean for Kenya? More so What does this mean for marketing agency Kenya Tourism Board? I'm Regina Manyara, and we are joined by none other June Chepkemei, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the marketing agency, to share more insights in regard to this matter.
Thank you, Regina.
What impact has Kenya hosting Chan had on the industry?
Hosting Chan means that Kenya is tapping into the 10% tourism expenditure that is as a result of tourism. According to UN Tourism, 10% of the global tourism spend is actually through sports tourism. And this is expected to grow by 17% by the year 2030. So hosting Chan for a country like Kenya that is a leading tourism destination in the region is a strategic positioning to reap the benefit that come with sports and tourism.
So how are the numbers looking like in as far as accommodation is concerned?
As you may be aware, most of our trains to our coast are full. The flights are full. You're struggling to get a bus. This is our busy season, the busiest season of tourism in the country. It's the season of wildebeest migration. And so hosting Chan has added value beyond the traditional tourists that we expect in this season. This is usually a season for mostly game, where we call it bush and beach, but we are now beginning to add an addition, which is sports tourism. Regina, our number one contributor to tourism in this country is what we call leisure. It's basically leisure. People are coming for leisure. And if you track where they are going, it's basically to sample what the country has to offer. Number 9, or among the top 10 reasons why people visit Kenya, is actually for sports tourism.
Well, any key incentives from the agency supporting the industry as well as a sporting fraternity during the season?
We saw it fit to celebrate in the smallest of ways our national team, Harambee Stars, to the federation with a token of appreciation to a tune of 15 million Kenya shillings. We are also going to buy 5,000 jerseys to be distributed to the fans, who are actually 40% of our population. 40% of our population are actually football fans. So we will distribute in partnership with the federation. And most importantly, we have seen what hosting Chan has done to our country. It has helped us really come together as a people, and we are proud that the national team Harambee Stars has not only represented themselves as a football team, but as a pride of the country.
The Mara is vibrant as well as the country is vibrant during the Chan season. How can Kenya leverage and maximize these two coinciding issues, sports as well as tourism peak, for maximum benefit?
We'll be able to take some players for a familiarization trip in most of our tourist destinations, and Mara is not an exception. We have also noticed an influx of visitors from mostly East Africa who are coming to watch the game, and they're also asking us to allow them to sample the nightlife in Nairobi. They are also going to our retail stores and shopping. We have some of the top brands globally in our top malls. And Regina, you've had some countries calling Kenya their Paris. Some are calling Kenya their New York. Some are calling Kenya their London. And this is what is unique about our country.
Very well said. So now, looking into the future, as an agency, what strategies are you applying, to position Kenya as an ideal tourist destination, leveraging on the sports tourism niche?
We are glad that we've started investing in the sports infrastructure, which has been a challenge. Now, going into the future, we are encouraging the government agencies and even private sector to invest in our local teams, especially the Tier 2, so that we can have a proper, growth path for the talent at the grassroots. So if we all come together as a country, private sector, partnering with the government, to support our 22 teams in the second tier and the 12 women teams in the second tier, it then gives us a natural growth, and we are able to then encourage young people who are getting interested into sports, especially football, to know that there is a future. Regina, if you look at just Tier 2, the 22 teams play over 1,400 matches in 10 months. The ladies, the 12 teams play over 700 in 10 months, and they traverse the country and they move with their fans. So from tourism point of view, we are able to promote domestic tourism.
What is in store for those who have either come to play and or even supporting the teams in Kenya as far as Kenya's vast tourism portfolio is concerned?
There is no better place to be than to be in Kenya. We have proven that we have world-class sports facilities, not only for soccer, but even for our athletics, and we are seeing our rugby pitch coming up. It means that Kenya is ready for the world. Kenya is ready to play in the global league, but we are unique in the sense that in Kenya you can play 364 and a quarter days. We do not have seasons that can stop us from playing. Whether you are coming here to just practice, you are coming for a friendly match, or you are simply coming to test what the country has to offer. So yes, Kenya is ready for the world.
Expectations of Chan from an industry point of view?
For now, we are supporting the Football League through FKF, and we're just going to work with them even as we get into the new season. As you may be aware, we are supporting our athletes, and we are preparing them even for the Olympics in 2027 that will be happening in the US. We are already working closely, and you are aware, with our golf team to just ensure that we are prepared for the next big thing in the golfing fraternity. We continue to support clubs, and recently we had a meeting with all the clubs in the country to then begin to package golf nights for tourists, because it's also a growing segment that has huge expenditure. Just if I could go back to soccer or football, an average football fan spends $1,500 when they come to your country. So for us, sports tourism is not only important, but it is a sector that we must work together to ensure that we grow it from position 9 to even among our top 3 tourist attraction to the country.
Parting shot, Madam CEO?
If you're looking for a place to visit, Kenya is the real deal. Don't miss out on meeting even just the people of Kenya and engage with our over 50 million smiles.
Well, there you have it. Other than a 15 million sponsorship or partnership with the sporting fraternity as Kenya hosts Chan, the Kenya Tourism Board is also looking at setting up incentives for the players to also get to sample, as well as their families and their fans, to sample what Kenya has to offer in as far as tourist attractions are concerned, and not limited to the Mara. Spoken just as the CEO mentioned that Mara is not out of the equation. Incentives will be coming down for the industry as Kenya positions herself as not only an ideal tourist destination, but the place to be for sports. I'm Regina Manyara. I hand you back to Broadcasting House.
In today's world, securing a job after university is increasingly difficult. Many graduates like Faith face harsh job rejections and a tough economy. Despite her hopes for a stable job post-graduation, Faith struggled to find work, leading to her to consider starting a business instead.
you're looking for jobs, there are no jobs, you're sending applications, you can't get even the responses. And so that led me to find a way of surviving, and that's when I ventured into selling laptops.
During this time, Faith connected with her friend Caleb, who ran a small computer sales and repair business. Recognizing a partnership opportunity, Faith brought fresh ideas while Caleb contributed his experience. Together, they embarked on an entrepreneurial journey.
Fresh ideas and also the zeal from someone new.
Setting up the business proved challenging. They needed to find a prime location, reliable suppliers, and raise funds for rent and stock.
The business is capital intensive, and that meant that I have to look for capital. And also starting out, especially here in Nairobi, it's very expensive because you'll need to have connections on where to get stock, on where to get the capital, on where to start from. And so even getting people to work with you through the journey was a bit challenging, but through and through we have been able to climb the ladder.
They chose to sell computers due to their growing reliance on technology, which they believed had significant market potential.
Right now, the world is all about technology. So you need to have a computer to do everything. Right now, you need to have a computer and all the electronics. You can't stay without a gadget. So that is something that is needed. It's almost a basic need nowadays.
Trust was crucial to their success. As friends, they divided responsibilities based on their strengths and ensured the shop remained open even when one was absent. They tackled problems together, leading to innovative solutions for smooth operations.
We act like a pilot and a co-pilot. So whenever I'm not there, the co-pilot is able to do everything that I can do. So we have equal roles, and everybody knows what they are good at, and they have perfected the places where they're good at, and so we're able to complement each other in that way.
Understanding each other. Yes. So of course I have some ideas, my partner has other ideas, but we have to understand one another so that everything can run smoothly.
As competition increased, they needed to differentiate themselves. They expanded services by offering repairs, a Lipa Pole Pole payment plan, and door-to-door deliveries. These additions attracted more customers and helped build a trusted brand.
We don't only sell computers, we also do repairs. We also offer payment plans. So like when you come to purchase a laptop from us, we take you through the different types that we have. After that, we're able to give you options. You choose the option that you like the most, and then we take you through the Lipa Pole Pole plan. We have Lipa Pole Pole plans for laptops, and we also have repair services whereby we do not only sell laptops, but we also repair. If you have a laptop that is that has an issue, we can also repair that for you. And we have services like delivery services.
Starting the business transformed Faith's life. Overcoming job rejection, she found joy in independence and success, earning more than she expected and feeling grateful for taking the risk.
And so one of the things that I know I might not do as a person is go back to be a career person, because for sure if I'm going to be a career person, that career might not pay me the much that I need to survive, especially in Nairobi and in the current economic status that we are in. Yeah.
Faith's online skills helped expand their customer base through social media advertising, customer reviews, and online orders with delivery options.
And you see, for a fresh graduate, she's well conversant with online marketing, so she has taught me a lot.
Now successful entrepreneurs, Faith and Caleb advise youths not to wait for employment, but to seek alternative paths. They encourage aspiring entrepreneurs to identify market trends rather than blindly starting any business, as maintaining one can be challenging.
That you feel like giving up, the days that you feel like you don't know, you don't have a direction, but at the end of the day, you just sit down and ask yourself, then what? If I sit here and wait, who is coming to save me? Definitely with our current state of the economic status that we are in right now, there's no one who is coming to save you. So the only thing you need to do is just start. Whatever it is that you're thinking about, just start and be disciplined and be consistent as much as possible.
You can check whatever is moving online, because you see, you can start a business, but then you will not find clients because whatever you're selling is not needed at the moment. So you need to have something that if you buy to sell, you'll find clients instantly.
Sound check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Sound check. Yes. So that is your camera, okay? Four. Okay. Sound check. Number 1 is Hans, number 2 is his. Okay?
The mom. Sound check. 1 2. Yeah. Sound check.
Hi. Hello. Hello. My name is Faith. I'm the mother to Sasha.
Confirm Mato.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Who do we have in studio with you?
Today we have a very young lady called Sasha.
She
is she's the youngest
hello.
green ambassador.
Hello.
Oh my God.
And
This is
she's going to
Faith,
talk
mother
about
to
matters to do with environment.
the Green
Hi,
Ambassador.
dear.
Hi,
How are you?
fine, thank
What's
you.
your name?
Sasha Chakwaching, the Green Ambassador.
Oh, wow. Amazing. What school do you go to?
Yeah.
What school?
The climate crisis what's happening.
do you go
we
to?
need to restore. I go to Santana School.
We'll get find a sound check. You can say your name.
My name is Sasha Chakwaching. The climate crisis is happening. We need to restore the degraded lands.
Katika hii eneo ya Shelcom kuna sehemu ambapo watu wamekata miti, mvua ikinyesha inasababisha mambo ya landslide.
I want to ensure a vibrant future for my generation by protecting important water catchment areas and degraded lands. My name is Sasha Chakwashke, the Green Ambassador. I campaign for taking care of my environment, planting trees, recycling, reusing, reducing pollution.
Watu wanakata miti, wanatafuta ili wapate kuni. Pia wanakata miti ili wapate shamba ya kulima. Shamba inabaki pea, na hiyo shamba wakati mvua inaponyesha, wakati wa mvua ya mwezi wa 4 inasababisha mambo ya landslide, na inaharibu, inabeba ile mmomonyoko ya udongo, inapeleka mpaka mtoni, ambapo inawacha shamba inakuwa pea. Shamba inakuwa haitakuwa tena na rutuba, sababu ile rutuba ya juu, ile topsoil imebebwa na maji. Sasa wakati tutakuja kupanda tena shamba, hata kama tutatumia mbolea, hiyo haitasaidia hata.
I have a tree nursery with 100,000 ready trees. I have 10 different types of trees: Syzyphus, crotop, acacia, echinacea, cedar, cypress, gravelia, macadamia, fridelia, and calliandra. And we also have olea, nandifolium.
So the aim of Sasha's initiative is to create awareness on the effects of climate change and to promote climate resilience by advocating for growing of trees. So far, Sasha has managed to grow.
Indeed, what you've just witnessed are the videos of the youngest green ambassador, that is Sasha Chepkoech, whose efforts of conserving the environment and also planting trees has gained traction, and she has even managed to meet President William Ruto. She is also a winner of the First Lady Mazingira Awards. And today she is with me in studio together with her parent, Sasha Chepkoech Ngeni, joins us. Sasha,
yeah,
welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And also her dad is here, that is Ngeni Kiprop. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And also her mom, that is Faith Jepto. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Let's get into it. Sasha,
yeah,
uko salama?
Niko salama.
Now, let us talk matters environment, sindio?
Yeah.
Ulianza lini? Ulianza aje?
When I was small, I had the new elected president make a bold promise that we should plant 15 billion trees. I wanted to change the environment.
You wanted to change the environment?
Yeah.
So, and when you started, what really, did you talk to your mom first? Did you talk to your dad first? Who did you talk to first?
I talked first to my mom because my mom liked the earth first. She liked planting trees also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mom, you like planting trees. When she came up with the idea of planting trees, how did that make you feel, and what was your reaction?
Okay, for me, I'm the mother and I'm also a teacher, and I'm an environmentalist in nature. We've been planting trees, we've been talking about climate action at our home, about pollution. So when we heard about the 15 billion trees, the president's 15 billion trees, Sasha wanted to be part of this change. She was so happy about it, and she said that I want to grow trees also. I want to plant trees because these are the things that we've been doing at home. So we wanted now to to instill these values by doing it. Remember, right now we are at CBC. We are no longer at 844, whereby we are only talking about rote learning. We are talking about competency, building the skills. So that is why we wanted now to put that in action at our home and to instill that value at her as young as she is.
Bwana Kiprop,
yes,
when you first heard your daughter is interested in matters environment, what was going in your mind?
Initially, well, I saw like she had a dream of conserving the environment, and her desire was basically to see a greener future where the sustainability issues for the young people is actually taken care of. And when she heard about the head of state talk about growing of 15 billion trees, then she said, I want to be part of that journey. So mine was to say, I'm here to support you. And we've stood with her to give her all the moral support and the financial support that she desires to be able to achieve that goal. So I was happy about that, and we are very proud of her.
Yes. Sasha?
Yeah?
Now that you are the green ambassador, what is your favorite thing about nature or the environment? What is your most favorite thing about it?
I want every child to plant 30 trees per year. That is in line with the Kenya Ministry of Education. I want everybody must plant a tree to reach to 15 billion trees. Yeah, that's why every child must plant 30 trees per year, so that we can reach to 15 billion trees. Yeah.
Do you talk to your fellow students in school, fellow pupils about it?
Yeah, I tell them. Now they say they want to join me, and they're excited because also them they want to be in my mission. They're supporting me also.
How do you relate with your teachers when it comes to mambo ya kupanda miti, conserving the environment?
I tell them I want to teach people about the environment. Then my teacher tells me, it's okay, you can just go. So I plant trees, I teach them about the environment, and that's what happens. Yeah.
Mom, what did you... what made you let her take this path at such a young age, given that now she has become the youngest green ambassador?
We saw a gift in Sasha. She is the firstborn among other siblings.
Yes.
And Sasha was gifted. She is able to speak out. She is able to interact with people. So that the gift in her made us to see that value, that we need to instill this value. We need to give her that platform. Yeah.
And to you, Bwana Kiprop, you know, nimeona kwa video fulani hapa, she knows her trees well.
Yes.
How did she come about that knowledge?
You know, when she actually got the First Lady Masingira Awards, she was awarded with a laptop. Now, when she was given this laptop, she spent most of her time, instead of going to Nickelodeon, she basically takes most of her time researching about the different tree species, and especially those ones that have the capacity to be able to harness the carbon emissions. So it's out of that background that then she was able to understand the different types of trees. But also at the same time, her mom has been playing a very important role in terms of guiding her to understand the importance of trees and why we need to conserve the environment. So as a result of that, she has actually known how different species work in particular environments. Yes.
Wow. Sasha.
Yeah.
You met the president.
Yeah.
How was that feeling?
I was feeling good and excited. The most exciting part, I planted a tree with him. Yeah.
What did you tell the president, by the way?
The poem.
Yes.
Your Excellency President William Samoei Ruto and all the guests. My name is Sasha Chepkoech, the Green Ambassador. I am 7 years old. What a momentous day in Elgeyo Marakwet. We want to thank you, our President and Dr. Chris Kipto, for taking lead in restoring our degraded lands. Your Excellency, 15 billion trees now achievable. I'm also taking lead in tree growing campaign. For the past 2 years, I've been conducting climate education awareness. And what makes me happy, seeing Dr. Chris Kipto leading the conservation of our environment. He encourages us to be the Green Ambassador. Your Excellency, give us your support and will secure the future of our generation. Together, let's transform the green agenda. Mazingira yetu, jukumu letu. Let's repeat after me.
Mazingira yetu, jukumu letu. And indeed, I hope you at home is at least learning something from Sasha. She is just 7 years old and she's doing a lot. She is committed into planting trees. She has a goal of planting over 1 million trees. What are you doing at your level? This is something that even the government is taking very serious, matters to do with the conservation of environment and combating climate change. So, you know, she's a young girl and she's in school. So how do you help her? Let me start with you. How do you help her balance her efforts of environmental conservation and her studies?
Okay, most of the activities that Sasha does is mostly during the holidays. Like now, during this 3 weeks holiday, we've been doing much of an environmental campaign. So we ensure that we balance both school and environment. So there's a time, we have time for school. When she's in school, that is a time for school. But when she's back home, now she can play, and now we can guide her on our environmental campaign.
Yes. From your point, has this affected how she relates with her studies?
No, I think from my point of view, it has not affected how she approaches her studies. Mostly, she wakes up early, she goes to school every day, and we spend most of our time after school with her to basically, after her homework, to go through a number of environmental concerns, and if she has some new ideas that she wants to develop. So she comes, tells me, Daddy, Mommy, this is what I feel like we need to do. What do you think about that? So it's from that point that we try our best to guide her. So it has not defeated her from what she's doing in school, because even in her school, she's among the top of her class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
If you became the president today, Sasha.
I don't want to be the president,
Yes.
but I want to be the UNEP director.
Wow. What is making you want to be that UNEP director?
I want to teach people about climate change, and also I want also everybody must plant trees. Yeah, because when I grow up, I want to tell them to plant trees, more trees. So when I grow up, in 2032, I want to plant 1 million trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I can tell you for a fact your dreams are very valid. You will become that UNEP director, and you will achieve your dreams. How has her journey inspired you as parents?
I think as parents, all we can say is that her journey has been very, very exciting, because one, we are learning so many aspects about how you bring up your children and how you actually encourage our children to, to pursue some certain goals at an early stage. Like for our case now, at only 5 years old, we could tell that she's a leader, because she could mobilize children within her surroundings so that they could be able to discuss issues of climate. Apart from just doing the normal playing and all that, you'll find her, she has mobilized young children, and they're discussing about issues of conservation, about the rainfall patterns in the country, about the droughts, about so many other things. So out of that, we've learned that really, being there for your children is very important, and being their moral support. If we give our children our support, they can be able to achieve more than we can do at our own levels.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll throw the same question to you. How, as a parent, how has her journey impacted you?
For me, I think we have grown together with Sasha, because through her journey, we have met important people. We've gone to many events. And through this journey of Sasha, I believe that it has also bring a lot of change.
Yes.
Most of the people also are advocating for environmental conservation because they've heard what Sasha is doing. So we believe that it is bringing a positive impact to the environment, as well also as together as a family, because we are working together, we are collaborating together to bring out the best of her.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the reaction of maybe her friends, neighbors, her schoolmates, her teachers when she started this journey?
Well, most of them were of the opinion that it's just the normal issues of children. By the end of time, they now realize that it's gaining a lot of traction. And especially when she's now back in the village in Eldoret, that's Kapseret, where she's actually, has her own forest now. Like we gave her some portion of land where she's growing her own tree species in our land. And she's also engaging in a number of agricultural activities as well. That supports livelihood at the same time. So most of those young kids also are learning a lot from her, because some of them will actually request her that would like to join you wherever you are going. So you can see that she's creating some ripple influence to other children within the community and even within the school. Like in a school where she is actually schooling, she's been actually entrusted to become the environmental prefect at her age.
Yes.
So, and she speaks at the assemblies to be able to encourage young children to join the movement of growing 15 billion trees as a way of reducing carbon emissions and improving our environment. So it's really become an inspiration, not only to us, but also to other children, especially.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Sasha.
Yeah.
You also won an award.
Yeah.
The First Lady Mazingira Awards. How did that make you feel?
I was feeling good. Yeah, and exciting, because I just won my second awards.
Wow. That was your second award?
Yeah.
Which was the first one?
World Wetlands Day.
Wow. How did that make you feel as a green ambassador?
It feels good.
Do you think your efforts are making an impact?
Yeah.
Yes. You know, Mom, do you think that even children and young people can influence adults into making the right decisions when it comes to matters protecting the environment, matters combating climate change?
Yeah, I believe children can, even if they have a small voice, I think their voice is able to bring change. Like what Sasha has done, even for some of us adults, maybe most of them have not planted the number of trees that Sasha has planted. So seeing her as young as she is and the efforts that she has done, it is also an encouragement to every one of us that we can also do something about environment. So as young as she is, she has done what she has done. So it is also a motivating factor to everyone that we can bring change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Besides having done something with the president on the day he was planting trees, are there other leaders or community-based organizations that she has partnered with?
In terms of partnerships, basically I would say, yeah, she has done a number of partnerships with local organizations, especially youth-led. She's done events with the University of Eldoret as well in terms of propagation of seedlings and growing of trees as well. But also, more importantly, she was also engaged with the office of the Minister for the CS for Environment. That was then Soipan Tuya. And they planted a number of trees as well at a place called Lake Narasha in Uasin Gishu County as well. And then at the same time also, there was a time we went to Komsa City, Metropolis, where she also engaged with some leaders as well on environment to plant a number of trees as well. So basically she's made a number of, she's worked not alone, but as a team with other people. She's also done tree planting in Nandi County with the Felix Koskei as well. So, and she has gone to Elgeyo Marakwet, where she did planting of grass for the elephants and at a place called Rimoy Conservancy. So she's really traversed the country, and we hope that this is not the end, but it's like now the stepping stone for her to be able to do greater things.
Yes. Sasha, in one of your videos, I saw you use recycled materials.
Yeah.
How do you collect them?
I collect them from the dam site. When I went to the dam site, I saw a lot of waste. I went and took the potting and to take the packets of milk. I reused them to make them into potting bags.
Do you have people helping you take those recycled
yeah,
materials?
My mom, my dad, and my brothers were helping me, and my mom's friend.
Yes. Speaking of your siblings, how have they taken up this initiative? Do they relate well with the initiative that you have taken?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
So, Ma'am, speaking of recycled materials, how often does she go to areas to pick these materials and at least make use of them?
Okay, we've employed people who go there, they collect the milk packets, then now they clean the milk packets. Then now Sasha has a green army, a team of a green army, whereby they come together, the young children together, they come fill the milk packets which have been recycled with the help, of course, with the parents and with some people we've partnered together with. Yeah.
So it is a collective effort.
It's a collective effort.
Now, what lessons do you hope that people may learn from her efforts, young as she is, and she is making an impact?
In my view, I believe that we can learn from Sasha's story that it is possible, it's doable, and that if all of us can be able to, to do our small things at our surroundings, then we can be able to change our environment. That if we put our effort, just a little effort in what we are doing, we're able to transform our society. We might not see the results now, but in the next 5-10 years to come, we'll start witnessing change. So I'm saying that, this is should be a collective responsibility for all Kenyans to be able to come up, stand out, and to defend our environment by taking those little steps, be it in our gardens, in our homes, or in our farms, to try to conserve our environment. Yes.
Nice. Mom, now looking ahead, how do you see her future coming out, especially given that she has a passion in environmental conservation? Do you see herself, do you see this shaping her future career and role within the society?
Yeah. I believe, because already she has started it as young as she is, I believe the more she's going to do, because if she will tell you about her mission, what she's planning to do. If you look at her mission, it is in line with now the career path that she says she wants to be the UNEP director. So we are trying to do as much as possible to help her, to collaborate, to team up together to make sure that her dream comes true. Yeah.
Sasha, we want to end the show, but I want you to give a message to every Kenyan who is watching you right now on KBC Channel 1. What would you like to tell them?
Okay, I like to tell them a poem.
Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sasha Chepkwech, the Green Ambassador. I am 7 years old. I campaign for taking care of my environment, planting trees, recycling, reusing, reducing pollution. My fellow citizens, it is now clear that climate change is real. Our country is witnessing heavy floods, persistent droughts, and strong storms. It is now time to reverse climate change through tree planting and conservation of our environment. I now have hope that this is doable if we team up as Kenyans. Thank you.
That is her message, a very strong point. If we team up as Kenyans to conserve the environment, whatever she has talked about is possible. Your final words?
I think my final word is that, especially as young parents, is that we need to support our children. Our children have the potential to do things that we are not able to do during our times. So if we give them the moral support and a good environment, they can be able to generate ideas that can transform societies for generations to come. Thank you.
Excuse me,
Please.
I have a book here about Sasha, a young voice for a greener world.
Yes.
Sasha is young and she has a small voice. Her message is big. Her voice is big, but her message is small. And this book, she wants a greener world.
Yes.
So, this book, I started when I was just 5 years old. Now, I made my first poem.
Yes.
My planet, why are you so hot? Why, and why? I breathe for my planet. Let's all regulate for carbon emission.
Yes.
Here, I was with the county commissioner. He told me, young girl, do you know who is this? Yes. I told him, it's Your Excellency President William Samoei Ruto.
Yes.
He told me, one time you'll meet him. Here, we were at Timboroa.
Yes.
We planted trees. Here, if I didn't even perform in the AGA Summit, I just already had my poem. Here, at Kapsaret, my seedlings were dry. Then we went to Moiben. Now we are at Nandi County.
Yeah.
I have 3 big goals.
Yes.
I want to champion every kid to plant 30 trees per year. I want to recycle, reduce the packets of milk. I want to educate everybody to plant trees.
Yes.
Here we were at Timboroa. Here we were at the dam site. We were reducing the packets of milk. We turned them into potting bags.
Okay.
These are the potting bags. My friends were helping me. Here, my father, and her friend Monica went to look for help to buy my seedlings, but no help came. Here I was a teacher at our apartment.
Yes.
I told them global warming is increasing the Earth's temperature.
Okay.
Increase in the Earth's temperature is caused by pollution.
Okay.
I told them pick up the litter and throw it in the trash can. Here These cars are producing CO2.
Yeah. So because of time,
Yeah.
let me have the book. Let me have the book. Let me have the book. As we give Mom a chance to give her final closing remarks.
My final remarks is to tell everyone that you can follow Sasha at her handles. She has a Facebook page, Sasha Chepkoech Ngeny. She has a YouTube page, Sasha Chepkoech Ngeny, and at the same time a TikTok. Please support her and let's make her mission come true. Great.
Indeed. Thank you so much for making time to come and talk about matters environment conservation. That is Sasha Chepkoech, who is the youngest green ambassador, and Faith Chepto, who is her mom, and Ngeny Kiprop, who is her dad. Thank you so much for making time. She is not only conserving environment, she is inspiring change, and she has a book right here. It's called Sasha, A Young Voice for a Greener World. This is where we end this conversation. Thank you for tuning in. Don't go too far, family. Check is up next.
Your Excellency President William Samoei Ruto and all the guests. My name is Sasha Chepkoech Ngeny, the Green Ambassador. I am 7 years old. What a momentous day in Elgeyo Marakwet. We want to thank you, our President and Dr. Chris Kipto, for taking lead in restoring our degraded lands and water catchment towers. Your Excellency, 15 billion trees is now achievable. I'm also taking lead in tree growing campaign. For the past 2 years, I've been conducting climate education awareness, and what makes me happy, seeing Dr. Chris Kipto leading the conservation of our environment. He encourages us to be the green ambassadors. Your Excellency, give us your support and you'll secure the future of our generation. Together, let's transform the green agenda. Mazingira yetu jukumu letu. Let's repeat after me. Mazingira. Thank you.
Naenda kukabidhi
Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya, and we now get into our family segment, that is Family Check. And today we're talking about a matter that is quite sensitive, that is infidelity. And we're asking the question, why do people cheat in relationships? That is the question that we are posing to you, and you are open to get to give us your views on this particular conversation. The number is 0716-103-302. Just talk to us, let us know what you feel about this entire conversation. And joining me for this is one on my immediate right. Is one Mite. Mite is a trainer, he's a mentor, and he's also the CEO of Pro Mentors Africa. Welcome to the program.
Asante sana.
And right next to Mite, we have Pastor Helen Njiro. Pastor Helen Njiro is she's a pioneer of a marriage prayer movement called Woman Trivial International. So welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, and of course, my colleague Mike is also here with us this morning, and we get to begin with this conversation. Let me just ask bluntly, why do people cheat?
Pastor.
All right. To me, the reason as to why people cheat is because they are selfish. Simple. Yeah.
It's out of
selfishness. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Me, I think cheating comes as a result of lack of understanding each other. As you grow, the temperament changes. Expectations now changes. Because when you're starting, I had an expectation of this, and this person have an expectation of this. When they don't coincide, start merging, then other expectation comes and start meeting my selfish expectation. Then I find myself going out. Because the person nilikuwa na yeye, now he's not meeting my expectation. To me, I think that's the bottom line. And again, too, the genesis of us starting that marriage, if it was not right, no matter the spirituality ya binguni, hapa, if it was not right by the word go, then things change. Things start changing because now umeanza ku challenge my mindset.
So, based on what you've said, it makes me, or it just stamps my perception of what cheating is. And in the first place, it's a choice.
Thank you.
Of course it is.
It's never an accident. Because nasikia mtu anasema, oh, it was an accident. I don't know, ni devil. Mbona mnaekelea shetani? Nilijikuta. But also you spoke about selfishness. What about lack of what you called self-control?
Yeah, it's one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit. And you know, now when you don't adjust, because okay, marriage is a union that God himself begins, and he began it right at the Garden of Eden. So when you two come together, actually there are two empty glasses that comes together to fill each other every day. So when you come with an expectation that is not realistic, like I'm marrying a perfect man, I'm marrying a perfect woman, but you're here to learn each other. Learn, teach each other every day. So there are expectations that are not godly when you begin this institution. And as my brother has said, this institution, you know, the foundation must be correct. The foundation is God. So whatever God doesn't allow should not even come near to this institution. Selfishness is not even anywhere to be termed in this institution. Because at the end of the day, the fruit of the Holy Spirit, it's not fruits. So if one is not there, you don't have any. It is the fruit of the Holy Spirit. That patience, be patient with one another as they grow, as they navigate this new journey. Otherwise, your spouse was not married, so that they can, you know, they graduated to come and now marry you as a perfect spouse. No, they are learning. So can we give each other a room to learn this institution according to God's way? Because there is an outline of doing this marriage. But when you become selfish, you just want to justify or to satisfy your desire as a spouse. You forget the other spouse. And the consequence is so dire, such that even David was there. You know, David killed Uriah to have his wife. The Bible talks about the consequences when Absalom came in full brace, you know, to give the father what he sowed. So in marriage, the law of sowing and reaping is in reality, even when it comes to infidelity. The Bible talks about Absalom, the book of 2 Samuel, chapter number, I think chapter number 16, verse 22. It talks about Absalom taking all the wives of the father, you know, and building a tent and sleeping with all of them at the rooftop. What a shame. So anything we are doing in our marriages, oh my God, whether we know it or not, it is just somersaulting somewhere. It is increasing somewhere. It is coming back to us.
And we're living in the age of social media. You know, has it really put, is it, what is the right word? Normalize or sanitize infidelity amongst not only in marriage, but relationships, Maj?
I agree with my sister, but we are in Kenya, we are in the 21st century. Ideally, God institutes the institution. Today, umepata mtoi ndio unaenda marriage. Today's situation isha happen. And you find yourself already in there. There is a say that say, I created you without you, but I not save you without you. Nilikuumba bila idhini yako. Mungu anasema. Lakini sita you must be part of the story for change.
For change.
I must be part of the story. And in our churches, people have gotten to marriage. Na sio marriage instituted, ni vile sasa tunasema mtoi amekaa maze, si tukae pamoja. And that's why you're looking, if you look this institution of God and everything, the rate of divorce is so high and unbelievable. The cheating is all over, even within the church. It is there. But now let's look about, I think to myself that pale na today's society, lazima Genesis ikuwe poa. Na Genesis wacha Mungu kwanza sasa. Wacha tubonge. Because quizy, the other topic you had, iko na drive na pesa dominates, is it true? So kuna mtu amenoki na atasema ni Mungu na ni vile niko na muunde. Ipo sina muunde hauna story yangu. Hata kwa hata wazazi wenyewe, wazazi kwanza na contribute na kuangalia uche lumeleta anakaji. Anakusubscribe na ni watu wa church na ni mapasta wazazi wangu sasa hiyo alafu anakuspice na everything. I think something have gone wrong in the 21st century. The social media, the technology have changed the whole ideology and everything, and I think we need to go to the grassroots of mentorship and training.
And would you also say that, you know, one's personal values, and even if we go a bit deeper, one's upbringing may be something that also influences
kabisa ina contribute because vile umelelewa kwa nyumbani kwenyu na vile wengine, because pia mienendo yangu and even areas grow ya dando mwingine grow ya another place. So all these are dictating the mindset. So kuna vile najua marriage ni hivi na mwingine amekaa kuni join najua marriage ni hivi. And we are supposed to now first we discuss, because the Holy Spirit is already with us. Hata ukuwa nje Mungu alituumba sisi wenyewe, si kweli? So anatuambia be part of the story of making this work. Contribute in this making work. Talk, get people like Pasi and everything, discuss before to get in. Lakini sasa hivi tuna get in, then cheating may increase because tume realize it's no longer there. Tume realize saa hii huyu mtu simtaki. Si ule nilikuwa nimezoea mpaka mazia na ngorota kwa kiti na changa aiki na nuni nani sasa. Huyu ni shetani mgani? You see? Na maybe pia chali na realize because madhako alikuambia mazee jiekeange vitu zangu ni zangu jiekeange kuna haribikanga. Even the intention of my mother, your mother, is not even right for a marriage.
So from what you're saying, it's like the young ones or the young adults model their marriage based on how their parents ran their marriage.
It contributes. It have a percentage.
It has a percentage.
But today, vile umesema mbele, technology ime overshadow the parental influence. There's the parental influence. Unaona kuta mtu ameanza madhako vile alikuwa grow hivi. Lakini imefika pahali sasa the social influence have dominated more than the parental influence.
Yes.
Because kuna wazazi wengine wanasema, what did I not do? Uli utuona vile sisi tuliishi na baba yako. Lakini ukuta wazee wa sister hapa, sijui ni shetani, tunaekelea shetani. But parents did their part. Majority of our parents, they did their part, they are doing their part. But ukiangalia the social influence, it's really dictating a lot, even within the church setup.
Monkey see, monkey do.
And I actually want to go back to the point where we mentioned that it's kind of being normalized now. Like we've normalized cheating to a point where you'll hear someone asking you, why do you want to leave? You want to leave that particular relationship or marriage simply because they cheated? Come on, it rains everywhere. So why are you leaving simply because one is cheating? Like I want you, Pasi, to just get into that, you know? The normalizing that is happening right now with cheating, like it's been made to be, it's the usual thing, and then you'll hear men say, all men cheat. So
it's the trendy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we can't fold our hands and zip about what is happening. We can see. But as a woman of God, I still go back to what the Bible says, especially when we are raising the children. The Bible talks about raise the child in a way of God. And when that child grows up, they will not live these ways. So what are we doing as parents from the word go? Number two, the purpose of marriage is to raise a godly generation. Are we getting it right from the roots? So if the purpose of this marriage is to raise a godly generation, what are we doing as parents? Even before we get to the children, we've said, yes, I do, okay? I've said, yes, I do that day when I walked down the aisle. Then do I have an understanding what marriage is? Because if I don't get it right, I will not do the right thing. So are we getting what the marriage is before we walk down the aisle? I believe those are the things that are contributing to each and every day of the things that we are seeing today. Then when we get to normalizing cheating, we can't just allow the enemy to reign over what he didn't begin. This one is a godly institution for crying out loud. We cannot go silent and allow our generations to be spoiled. So as we raise them up, children learn from what we do, not what we say.
Yes.
So when we are in the house, what do? They will not learn like, oh, I love you, my wife, I love you, my husband. No, the children will see, do my father love my mother? Does he really mean what he's saying? So the children continues to learn. The mother has never asked about infidelity. We have never heard about that. So the father is telling the children that living with one wife, one husband is the word of God. So these children have grown up seeing the same replicated in the same vicinity of the marriage. So whatever we are doing as parents, we are creating the generations to come, whether we know it or we don't know.
No, we don't.
So I believe that is all what we need to understand.
Kuna kitu ilikuwa kwa social media. I do mentorship, and I'm so much in the church, and especially the Catholic Church.
Yes.
And some guys, they really pinned me down. And this clip was moving that look at the Old Testament. Fulani alikuwa na bibi mmoja. Mungu wako fulani alikuwa huyu alikuwa sijui mambo ya clip. It was hitting really. And I didn't know even how to go about it. Despite the fact that you could look the concept of God. It's really challenging in the 21st century. It's really challenging. It's not just easy. And I agree with her. It's not just easy to say. Because kuna vile hata watoi wataona. Mimi na bibi yangu na everything. Lakini kuna vile amefika seko na mimi nikuta pahali fulani. Lakini madhangu hajaijua. It may not be seen. But within my conscience, najua yenyewe I'm cheating. Tuko pamoja lakini? So kuna vitu zimetokea sahi and it's so challenging.
Is it just a matter of moral decay?
I think so. Because ukishafisiwa na swali kama hiyo, na wanakutubaka Bible, na wanakuletea fulani alikuwa na bibi wengi, fulani alikuwa hivi.
But there's a difference between cheating and someone who's polygamous. There's a big difference.
In today's society, you see, now when it comes to the young people, that time is not like this time. So as a mentor, you need now to see how you intermingle. I love the way you're putting it. Because time hiyo ilikuwa, there was a responsibility.
Yes.
There was so much taking place.
Taking a first wife, a second wife.
And even in the traditions.
And in tradition,
in traditions.
But saa hii mazi anakukudia responsibility inakosa.
Can I ask, please give me a biblical difference between being polygamous and cheating or adultery, because cheating is adultery. Okay, what is the difference? Is it founded in the Bible? Because we are dealing with a godly institution, not any other thing.
That's why I'm saying to the youth, this is true, because we have to align them and help them.
Yes.
It used to happen like this, but in a move. So they need to come and mentorship to understand that this is not the way we are. This is not even, when you look about having 2 wives and everything, is different from adultery. Tofauti kabisa. I don't know whether those people, they could do that. And even wazazi wetu wa kitambo, look, even when I was doing my African culture, I couldn't understand the Muslim community. They could even look whether mwanamke ni bikira. They had a process. So to me, adultery was not there. My thinking. I might be wrong. So there was a preparation mzuri. Siku hizi ni mbaya kabisa. I think we need to go back to the foundation of God to understand that things, the way they are moving today, is different from kitambo.
Yeah.
It's only that he'll disturb na ane vijana na wanakuuliza na wamejiamu.
Yeah.
There's also, okay.
Are we not failing? Are we not failing God and a generation at some point? Because God cannot create an institution, then give it to a society to run it. It is not possible. Whatever God creates, he gives a guideline to run the institution. So if we say that kitambo ilikuwa hivi, where was God in that institution? We go back to the Garden of Eden. Simple. And what did God say? 2 will become 1. So when you are in the house, you are 1. So anytime you are having a password even on your phone, what are you hiding from your... Cheating begins there. Actually, cheating is simply going against the covenant of the institution that you're running. Simple. Because your heart knows that this one, my wife, my husband cannot marry this. But you yourself, you know you're going against the agreement of your institution. So we begin cheating right in the house. Then our children adapt and amplifies it.
And
yes.
Then we need to come to the concept of doing a lot, because it is happening. You know, the truth.
Yes.
Yeah, it is happening within our institution, within our family setup, it's happening. What do we need to do?
To change that.
Because there must be an educative conclusion towards what is happening. And to look about how do we bring seminars or training with very institution to look where could we be going wrong. Because there's somewhere we are going wrong. Some parents are doing very well. Others in changamoto. I sit on board of some school. You look about the parents in that school, almost 50% single mother. It speaks a million on marriage to me. It speaks very worrying. And I come to the concept of the man, me being a man, an advocate of a boy child. Where is the figure of the man? Where are we?
That is it.
Where are we? So because dada hakupata mtoto peke yake through osmosis. So in history ya cheating ilitoka na ikaenda, watu wamejazana huko hivi, you know. So we need to look about it very critically, you know, and see where are we going wrong. Where is the concept of men? Because hata ni challenging. Let me tell you, in my profession in psychology, it is full of akina mother wameja. Where are the men even being counselors and everything and can talk to fellow men? Men to men talk. So that also we can influence. Like now our sister, she's holding a very powerful department on women. It's new. And they'll get empowered. But where is this man?
Where is the man?
Where this organization about men and we talk about now, this man, because it's
hard to convince men like in one place. But there's also the aspect of low self-esteem. Pastor, I want to hear this from you. How does that contribute to cheating? And is this person just seeking validation out there because he feels like he has low self-esteem?
Yeah, it's rampant in our day-to-day life, and I really teach. The reason as to why, let me begin here. we need rectification, redemption, and the restoration of the institution at large. The reason as to why God gave me this mandate of Woman Travel International. The mandate is to redeem, rectify, and restore marriages back to God's order, because we are lost, like we are completely lost. So as we meet every month, second month of every second Saturday of every month at Olympic House. We meet there, men and women, and everybody who is ready to get married, divorced and separated, we restore them back to God's order. So when it comes to this, I always teach women, together with men, that when your spouse is down financially, and when we handle a man, when God says that women will submit, it means there is something that a man has that a woman doesn't have, an ego. You know, there is that ego of a man. That if you are a woman and you try to bruise the ego, I'm telling you that marriage will be chaotic. It is true. Whether you are married to a bishop or a prophet or whosoever you want to call, when you go against what that man is created to become, hakutakuwa na amani kwa hiyo ndoa. So I always tell women, if your man is down financially, remember two shall become one. You already one. So if when God looks at this marriage, he sees one person. So one person with one hand, right hand and the left hand. So if you are the woman and God gives money on the left hand, you should not boast to this woman that you are the one who has money and make him feel lesser a man. I am telling you, if you pretend to be like such a woman, mutaenda jangwani nyinyi wote pamoja.
Are people ready for that conversation?
This conversation must happen, and it must happen.
Okay, let us allow our viewers to join in the conversation. The number is right there on your screens, 0716-103-301, 0716-103-301. That is our WhatsApp line, and you can send in your messages. If I can just read some of the messages that have come in. Someone is saying, hi people, I'm Jackson Kioko, watching from Mutomboa, Ilima. I think lust is the main cause for people to cheat. So according to him, he says it's lust that is getting us to that point where people have normalized cheating. Another one is saying cheating is simply a choice, full stop. And then this other one is quite long. I don't know if I'll read the whole of it. Good morning. I'm Jimmy Miraga from Kitengela. First, I want to commend my former high school mate and a friend, Might. Oh, this is your high school mate. Might. And still to support his views in causes of infidelity, where he talked about dissatisfaction in expectations and the origin of several marriages. But I would also like to add on that when lack of self-control is in place, that is simply termed as prostitution, according to him. So, yeah, so he says that it's mainly just lack of self-control, and to him, he's given it that very heavy term.
Ni kweli, because there's no, it's only that tunapembeleza, not ni kweli.
Ni kweli.
Ni kweli, ujawa vile asema back. Also, I don't know where we go with the concept of discipline.
Yeah, self-discipline. That also comes in, yeah.
Because discipline ni muhimu sana. And hata tukisema discipline pia, what I've handled so many cases in this country on marriage, but I look about a lot of conversation is needed in marriage.
Yeah. Sure.
I had a case in my office, and this beautiful lady could this guy because of akioga kwa bafu, si kuna sabuni ina stick kwa wall, and this could tell her, kuli mwanaume ajiambi, you know, nimeoga, mimi nimeosha, and that makes the person now goes out. Iyo tu. And that's why we had a conversation and say, because wewe unapenda kuosha na everything, si basi uamshe huyu mwanaume ndio uoge wa pili ndio ufanye vile you get, but that was enough. Just aliniambia mimi nimetoka naye and I'm settled somewhere, because hata Mr. Kanga ataniguze. So they are petty to me, but to somebody else you should not ignore it.
Yeah.
So a small thing you should not ignore. So we need to start a conversation, and we need to continue with this conversation about looking now what is making it me to go out. And I'll say as a man, probably my wife, when I wanted to, the conjugal issue, he just makes a lost, just that, and it's enough for divorce. Just to pull, just kitu kidogo tu. And maybe I went outside for somebody will not pull me. Same case with the ladies. Maybe I did not remember your birthday, only that. So we need to look about some underlying things. And mwanaume mgani ukumbuki birthday yake. And it became an issue, and then you get another person who remembers your birthday even 10 days before, anakuprepare. Yeah. So what are these small vipengeles that they are contributing to this cheating?
Yeah. And can one cheat and still be in love with their partner?
Iko. Inaendelea.
Because you can't keep telling me you love me, you're in love with me, and all of that, and then you're also out here perambulating with everyone else. How like how does that I mean, I'm just saying it as like how does that work? Especially I would want to hear it from a man. Yeah.
Wacha nikwambie, zina happen, see it as it happen. In my culture, one mzee told me in my vocabulary, I don't know how to call it. It's called mutumia wa bodida kaya ukarira. It means
French to say
how do you put
the first wife should never cry.
Ule bibi wa rurashio huyo.
Yes, will.
Asije akalia. Asitoe machozi because baraka
ziko. I'll ask you to hold that thought. We take a break and then we come back.
Let's take a break.
Alafu tukuje tusikie mutumia wa mbori. Don't go too far. I'm loving this conversation, and you can get to be part of it. I am seeing your messages and I'll get to them. You can keep sending them. The number is 0716-103-301. We're talking about infidelity and trying to just get to the root of it. Why do people cheat? Before we took that break, Might, you were explaining this French, I don't know, word that you were talking about, you know,
to me,
women
see,
and mbuzis.
some things in the old days, they were helping a lot.
Yeah.
they could make somebody. You see, like that is a say ya kitambo about mama wa mbuzi afai kulia na everything.
We call them goat wives.
Goat wives, yeah. Yes. And it was very educative. And you see, up to my age right now, na ya kitambo, I still hold it, you know, I realize it have both sides. That kuna mtu bado anahanya and believe in the same say. You get? And also, there is somebody who stick with that mbuzi lady. Because he believes all blessings are here. But the others will take negatively. Now, answering your question, that despite the fact me make satisfied, to konaraha na kila kitu, I'm still going out.
Like there's nothing
now that's
wrong
becomes
in the
wrong.
family.
Becomes wrong. Because you take that statement in the positive side, it's powerful. But still going outside now becomes a changamoto. Maybe I'm just based on that ideology, na nakumake akue afurahie. Unaona? Lakini kuna vitu hazinifurahishi ndani ya ule dada labda. So I need to analyze and have a conversation. Time have come. The Bible says, let's go back to the first love. We used to call each other sweeter. We used to call each other this and this and this. And have a conversation. Put the kids candle. Because they are type of stressors. In fact, kids ni baraka tu. They are not meant in marriage. Ni baraka zinakuja. It's between me and... And that's why you ask us, many ladies, if I want to marry you and you have a kid, who is the first priority? They will say kid. They are stressors. They will go out and they leave us. So let's go back to the conversation and see, what are we doing? What are you not doing right? Or not even right. It is right to you and mine is right. Is it true? How do we meet? Where do we meet on this issue? So if we must meet somewhere.
Okay.
So that we can avoid now this cheating.
Even as we talk about this, you know, you hear stories outside here. I have a good partner, everything is going on well, the marriage is working, the relationship is going in the right direction. But then again, you hear somebody cheated. Why, Pastor? Why?
Lack of self-control. And also, you know, if you know what brought you together, you'll treasure that. What brought you together. When you know that what the Bible says that when somebody commits adultery, because to me a second wife or a side chick or whatever you call them, it's adultery, biblically. So whoever commits adultery commits, you know, sins against themselves. Yani you're sinning against yourself. So don't you even love yourself at the first place. Because this is the only sin that you do against yourself. And because you have become one, you're doing it even against your spouse. So where do you value? Where is the value of your spouse in this conversation? You don't value them. You don't love them. Wacha tuambiane ukweli. Hii kitu ingine goat wives, sijui goat what. You don't love them. You don't value them. Because where is the place of the self-control, faithfulness, patience, fruit of the Holy Spirit? Ziko wapi? Haziko.
And even when you speak about that, I am sure today I'm speaking for the ladies, you know. So so even when we talk about all this, I'm sure there are ladies who've had their men say something like, you know, or even their male friends, you know, even when they're just talking to their male friends, you'll hear men saying, you know, men are visual. You know, men are visual. Like, they always use that as a reason to try and justify the going out of marriages or the going out of a committed relationship that is supposed to be an exclusive relationship between just the two of you. And they'll say, you know, men are visual. So sometimes it's not even like they mean to do that, but it just happens because they've seen something they like. And it also poses the question, don't you think women also have eyes to see? You know, they can also look at a particular guy and feel like, oh, wow, that's a good-looking man. You know, but you know, does that mean that now you go sleeping around with everyone that you feel is pleasing to your eyes?
It's not like I'm sanitizing this, but you have to agree with me. Cheating for men is different as it is for women. Men are visual. For a lady to cheat.
Can I do that?
No, wait. Let me execute this point. Men are visual, yes. But again, it goes back to cheating is a choice. But then again, for a man, it can happen anyhow. But for a lady, it's a process.
Yeah, it's true.
It is a process. It just
for a man, kuacha ni rahisi.
Just listen to the justification of
it's
why.
It's not justification. I'm just saying how it's different.
Not the woman.
No. Lakini wacha kusema kweli.
Yes.
It's the high times hata pasi in the church, apart from ideology of God, to talk the social analysis. How do men think?
Exactly.
How do women think?
Can I answer
temperaments.
That?
So that those temperaments, we discuss about them and we bring the Holy Spirit in this discussion of the reality, the temperament. Because I think different. You've been brought up differently. I've been brought up differently. I've seen different families. So men, do you know they have even a box called nothing? Yeah. They are just there, they don't think. To a woman, there is no box called nothing at any time. So we need to go to deeper psychological approach on how do men think? How do women think? If men understand that and women understand that, then we can reach somewhere of understanding. But if we ignore that, we are also beings, human beings. So we need to go to deeper teaching because, again, we are surrounded by an environment that is communicating. Our environment communicates every day. It's communicating. And the more it's communicating, it's forming a mindset in me. And that's why when you go now deeper to spirituality, say, who do you work with? That the environment's communicating. If you're not even based on church angle, not even church, I'll not put church because church has zingine zimekuwa funny. If you're not based on right people, true people who can really value God and who can really value human beings. And that's why to God to me is about the neighbor.
Okay.
My neighbor. How I'm bringing my child, I care about the other child. How I'm behaving, my character. So the neighbor starts dictating the personality. So I think the men being visual, it's true. But it's not a justification of wendo ufanye ufala.
Utaona watu wangapi wanakaa fiti.
Ni wengi.
Allow me to read through some of the messages that are coming in. There's so many. One is saying, my fear is that cheating is now a competition. Nowadays, it's a competition between who's cheating more than the other. Marriages are not safe. Another one is saying a wife should be submissive to their husband. Okay, I don't know how that is relating. Another one is saying, yeah, cheating is a thing that is a choice. It is your choice. You choose whether to cheat or not. Someone is asking a question, is polygamy a form of cheating? And then I'll just read the ones that I can. Someone is saying, asking for a friend, when a man sleeps with 100 women, he is glorified. But when a woman sleeps with the same number of men, then she's despised and called names. That is very true. Another one is saying the lady who divorced Julia Bafu, that's not being petty. She just wanted to go. She was looking for a reason for her to be out of that relationship. Another one is also a question, does real love fade away? I think this is a topic that we can have for next time. So, I mean, just from the messages that are coming in, I want us to go to this message whereby, I know, Lisa, you know, a man is glorified for doing this thing, and then when a woman does the same thing, now she's being called, you're a prostitute. Yeah, so yeah, like, how do we justify or how do we look at that? And even now, as we almost come to a conclusion, let's look at the aftermath. You know, can trust be fully rebuilt after, you know, one betrays the other by going outside their marriage or relationship?
It can be rebuilt. And I'll begin with what my brother said, that for a man, sometimes there is a leeway for cheating. But to me, the word of God stands. Cheating is cheating. Whether the woman is cheating, whether the man is cheating. Cheating is cheating. And remember, the people that cheats, ile siku ya mwisho sisi tunajua wameambiwa watakuwa wapi. Hatujaambiwa ni wanawake peke yake watakuwa hapo, even men. So please, kuna siku ya mwisho. In as much as we are doing all these things, kuna judgment. Then let me go to the man side of it, because now men are being glorified in cheating. A man is the head of the family. So if you cannot lead your family or marriage, that generation is done. That generation is gone. So for a man, there is a wake-up call to straighten up things in our marriages.
Finance.
Everything. Even if you don't have the real finances, sit down with your wife. You are already one. Let's plan with what the wife is getting. Yes, you are the authority in that house.
Is that possible?
Is that possible? Oh my goodness, it is possible. It is happening.
I love this.
No, it is happening. I wish next time you call me with my husband. We've been there for 19 years. And I've seen these things happen. Sometimes anakuwa hivi miaka mingi, si moja, si mbili, si tano. And we plan what I have.
Okay.
So please, let men take the lead in our marriages so that our generation can learn.
That topic is normal.
Okay, we need to finish. Might, I need you to give us your final remarks.
I think let's have conversation.
Yes.
Let's have conversation. Put things aside. Let's have conversation. Small temperaments are making people to cheat a lot. Small indifferences that will come even after marriage are making people. Let's have conversation. The more the conversation between two parties, the more you wipe it away. The more the light remains on you, and the more the principle of love remains. Without conversation, and we put other things, we listen to what we call saloon methodology, and everything what you have discussed there, and let's have conversation. Both of you have conversation. When you find I'm not doing the right thing, when you find nimekuja na socks, nimetupa pale, then after that, in the saloon you will be told, huyo mtupe nje, my friend. Let's have conversation, speak it out. Even if some conversation are painful, have conversation within marriage.
Sure. All right. We unfortunately have come to the end of this conversation, and this is one conversation that can go on and on and on. And actually, your messages have come in. There are so many. We can't be able to read all of them, but thank you so much for being part and parcel of this conversation. Maybe we should have a continuation of this. We never know. My producer will advise further on that. But this is where we say goodbye. Thank you so much. Myself, alongside Mike Megwe, we've enjoyed having you be part of this conversation. Might, and Pastor, thank you so much for joining us on this. All right, this is where we say goodbye. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. My name is Vivian Degwa. Take care.
I think it was going to Tanzania.
Kenya do not win today.
And we are yes. Everywhere. Yes.
So Algeria came into this 2024 African Nations Championship. They come with trying to outright, but that are maybe out of a 1 point from the group. So Tanzania, and it's a top-heavy league. Championship has unfolded, and I cannot wait for the AFCON in 2 years' time. Actually, so Algeria came in particular. I was so overall, I've been very, very pleased to see how the African Nation Championship has unfolded, and I can. So Algeria, very, very pleased to see how the African Nation Championship has unfolded, and I cannot wait for the AFCON in 2 years' time.
I'd say him so much because Chris Saikatu is yeah. Even more. Yeah. And even more. Yeah. And even more. Yeah.